Hey, what's up guys? iTechCore11 here, and this is my full top 5 reasons not to get the iPhone 5S. Now before I start this video, I just want to say the iPhone 5S is a very nice phone with some nice new features, and I will be making this opposite video, top 5 reasons to get the iPhone 5S, very soon, so definitely like and subscribe if you want to see that. So for number 5, 4, and kind of 3, they all kind of go in conjunction with each other and they work together. For number 5 is the pricing. Now for $199 gets you 16 gigabytes, and that's not a bad price. That's basically what all the high-end smartphones start out at. But for 32 gigabytes, it costs $299, and if you want to get 64 gigabytes, it costs $399. I did a little bit of research from tomshardware.com, and for the iPhone 5, it cost Apple $10.40 to make the 16 gigabyte iPhone 5. It cost them $20.80 for the 32 gigabytes to put in the iPhone 5, and it cost $41.60 for them to produce and manufacture the 64 gigabytes of storage that went into the iPhone 5. Now, put this into perspective, to jump from 16 to 32 gigabytes in storage, it cost Apple $10. Now, they're charging you $100. So this is almost exactly $90 margin. So that means Apple's making $90 and they're charging you $90 more for what you're paying for what they paid for the same storage. Now it gets even crazier. If you jump from 16 to 64 gigabytes, Apple wants to charge you $200. Now it only costs Apple $31.20 to manufacture that extra 64 gigabytes of storage from the 16 gigabytes. Now, that is a $168.80 difference from what you're paying to what Apple's paying. So that Apple is getting that $168 profit. That is a margin if you buy a 64 gigabyte iPhone compared to the 16 gigabyte iPhone. So that's a little bit ridiculous. I think Apple could slim that down by $50, $70, $80 and still get a good amount of profit, but have a lot more people buying that. Now, number 4 would be expandability. Again, this works with that, and it's the fact that it is lacking a micro SD card, something that the most popular Android phone, the Galaxy S4, has. Now, a lot of other companies will charge a lot of storage to go from 16 to 32, but most people will buy the 16 gigabytes because they know that for an extra $10, they can get 16 gigabytes more with a micro SD card. That's something Apple has always refused to do, and they never have a expandable micro SD card inside their phones. Another thing for expandability is the lack of a removable battery. Now this is a big drawback. A lot of phones nowadays have that, including the most popular Galaxy S4, Galaxy S3, and the Galaxy Note series all have removable batteries. Now this also goes to my number 3 reason not to get the iPhone 5S, and that is battery. Now the iPhone 5 had a 1440 milliamp external battery, or 1.44 amps. Now, I'm not sure yet at the time of this video what the iPhone 5S battery capacity is, but again, the iPhone 5 was 1440 milliamps. Now, that is really small. Now, iOS 7 is a pretty simple operating system, so it doesn't take a ton of power and battery life to manage. And Apple did say with the iPhone 5S battery life will be a little bit better, but still it doesn't last you as long as the Galaxy S4 and the Galaxy Note 2, etc., and the Note 3, all those other phones. So battery life has always been a big complaint with iPhones. To put it in perspective, the iPhone 5 had a 1440 milliamp battery. The Galaxy S4 had a 2600 milliamp battery, so over 1000 milliamps more. The Galaxy S3, the old generation, had a 2100 milliamp battery, and the HTC One has a 2300 milliamp battery. And again, the iPhone 5 had 1440, so a pretty small battery, but that's also because of the small form factor. Battery life definitely should be improved with the 5S, hopefully. Again, that's one of the problems with it. Battery life's never been particularly spectacular. Number 2 would be the screen. Now, Apple right now, the 5S has a 4-inch 1136 by 640 resolution screen and is the same as the iPhone 5. Now, to put that in perspective, it is still a very nice phone. However, the iPhone 4 still has the same resolution of 326 pixels per inch. So that means a phone from a few years ago has the same screen resolution as a new iPhone 5S, iPhone 5, 4S, and the iPhone 4. So that means Apple has not improved the quality itself. They have improved some of the colors, stuff like that, and the size of the screen, but the resolution is still the same. So there are two things I was hoping for. One of two things I was hoping that Apple would do with the iPhone 5S. Either one, give it a bigger screen, maybe 4.5-inch, 5-inch screen, or two, give it a 1080p on the 4-inch screen. So they didn't do obviously didn't do a bigger screen, But if they would have put a 1080p display, which they could have called Super Retina, on a 4-inch screen, this, if it was the iPhone 5S, would have a 500 plus pixel per inch screen. 500 plus pixels per inch. Now that is crazy. That'd be by far dominating the market right now for screen resolutions, and that would just be outstanding, and that'd be one of the best selling points of the iPhone 5S. However, they're still keeping the several years old 326 pixels per inch screen on the iPhone 5S, which is the identical screen to the iPhone 5, same pixel density as the 4S and the 4. So a little bit disappointed in the screen. Still a great screen, but it could have been a lot better. Now the number one reason is something that you may not think about, is that the phone you have. Now if you're looking at the 5S, there's a good chance you're either not coming from a smartphone, or you already had an iPhone. Now you can get the iPhone 4S subsidized for free, 8 gigabytes, which is still a fantastic phone, or iPhone 5 was discontinued, but you can get it on eBay for pretty cheap, or the 5C for just $99. All those still have fantastic specs, and you won't be disappointed with any of those phones. And some of the other competitive Android phones still have great specs for a lower price, or better specs for the same price. So really, there are some better options in the 5S, and I will be having another video about the opposites, top 5 reasons to get the 5S. But these are the reasons I have right now, and again, the number one is because the phone you have right now is probably pretty good, or you can get a better one for the same price or less. So those are my top 5 reasons not to get the iPhone 5S. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, iCheckHorror11. I post giveaways there, different rules and different things like that I put up there, and definitely want to follow me there. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see my top 5 reasons to get the iPhone 5S, and also some iPad mini 2 and iPhone 5S coverage. Definitely like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see the second part of this video. Thanks for watching. This is iCheckHorror11, and I will see you later.